Today I'm going to read you a few pages from this book, Jane Goodall, written by Libby Romero. We'll read chapter 1. Let's go. Chapter 1. The Early Years. From the beginning, Valerie Jane Morris Goodall loved animals, big or small, slimy or soft, feathered or scaly. They were all Jane's friends. Jane was born on April 3, 1934, in London, England. For the first year of her life, she and her family lived there on the second floor of a small brick two-bedroom townhouse. The ground floor, which had once been a stable, was the perfect place for her father's garage. Jane's father, Mortimer, worked as an engineer for a company that was laying telephone cables throughout England. Mortimer's favorite part of the job was getting to travel. This meant he could drive the company van. Mortimer's mother had taught him to drive when he was 14, and after that, driving had become his passion. He was determined to become a race car driver. Jane's mother, Margaret Vanway Joseph, who everyone called Van, had moved to London from her family home in the English seaside town of Bournemouth. Though Van found work as a secretary, she loved to write and actually wanted to be an author. Van and Mortimer met each other in London, and then, in 1932, they got married. At first, their life together was a whirl of action as they traveled around Europe, following the racing circuit. That focus didn't change, at least for Mortimer, after Jane was born. He was absent more often than not as she was growing up. However, Mortimer was there for his daughter's first birthday, and the present he gave her had a lasting effect on her life. In search of a soft, cuddly toy for Jane, he found a stuffed toy chimpanzee. It was named Jubilee, after the first captive born chimpanzee that had ever been born in the London Zoo. Family friends thought the toy was scary and would give little Jane nightmares. That wasn't the case at all. Jane loved Jubilee and wanted to take him wherever she went. Even as a baby, Jane loved animals. In London, her nanny or babysitter, Nancy Soden, used to take her for long walks, and Jane loved watching the animals that scurried through the city parks. After the family moved to a larger home, Jane and Nanny, which was what Jane called Nancy, had long picnics in the overgrown garden. All right, that was an excerpt of Jane Goodall, written by Libby Romero. Look out for the next one. I'll catch you there.